And this is Mrs. Nichols.
We're here to teach you our Chapter 1 Place Value through the Billions lesson. Our objective is to teach you to read and write whole numbers in standard form, expanded form, and word form. Our vocabulary words today are place value, value, standard form, expanded form, and word form. Here you see a place value chart. The place value chart shows the value of the digits in the number. So each group is separated by a comma. We have the thousands period and the ones period. In each period, you will notice there's a hundreds, tens, and ones. So this number in the 1 represents a 100,000. The place tells where the digit is located. Like I said, the 1 is in the hundred thousands place. The value tells the value of the digit. The 1's value is hundred thousands. If we talk about the value of the 5, there are 5 10,000s. So its value is 5 tens. 5 tens is 50,000. Okay, moving along. When we write words in standard form, the usual and common way to write a number, look at the example. It's just like you would read a number, 12,985. Recognize the comma that separates the thousands, period. When we write a number in expanded form, we're writing a number as the sum of the values of its digits. So we're taking the standard form and breaking it down into each value. The 1 comes down and shows its value of 10,000. The 2 comes down to show its value of 2,000. The 9 comes down to show its value of 900. The 80 represents the 8, and the 5 ones represent the 5. When we talk about word form, we're writing the number in words. For example, if we look at the example of word form, 12,000 is separated again by a comma, 985. Notice the comma has to be written into the word form. Also pay attention to the hyphen in between the 80 and the 5. Whenever we have a number that ends in a Y, we need to separate it with a hyphen for the next word. So let's try some examples together. Okay, so in this first example, we're going to name the place of the underlined digit. So I'm going to give you a digit as an example. And the underlined digit I'm going to give you is the 6. And we need to name the place of the underlined digit. So when we're talking about the place of this digit, we're talking about where is it located. We're not talking about its value. So we want to say, where is this 6 located? What place is it in? If we look, we see the comma, so we know it's going to be in the thousands period. We know that this comma means that the 6 is somewhere in the thousands period. Well,
We know
this
the 7
1
is in the 1000s.
This 5 is in the 10,000s. So this 6 means, so our answer is 100,000s. If we look more closely at it and talk about the value of the 6, if we wanted to note the value of the 6, we would say how much the 6 is worth. What's the value of the digit 6? Well, the 6 is in the hundreds, thousands place, and there are 6 of them. So 600,000s would be written like this. The first answer represents the place, and the second answer represents the value. Let's try another example. We have a very large number separated by 3 commas. 3 commas tell us that we have several different periods. We have 1 comma separating the hundreds and the thousands period, another comma separating the thousands and the 100,000s period, and then another comma separating the millions period, which can get rather confusing. But we're only looking at this 2. We want to know what place that 2 is in. Well, if we're talking about the place of the 2, we want to know what place is the 2 in. Well, this is the ones, or the hundreds, and this is the thousands. So we look at the place 1, 10, hundreds. The 2 is in the 100,000s place. So we have a hundreds, thousands place again. Don't let big numbers intimidate you. Then when we talk about the value, the 2 is valued at, there's 200,000. So the 2's value is 200,000. Okay, the final example I'm going to do with you is writing in expanded form. We have the number 34,617. When we have this number, we need to look at the value of each digit and expand it out or stretch it out. So we're taking the 3 first and looking at where it's located. It's in the thousands period. So here's the 1,000s and here's the 10,000s. The 3's in the 10,000s place. So we would start by writing it as the 10,000s plus, now we're looking at the 4. The 4's in the 1,000s place. So we're going to write it as a 1,000 plus, now we're looking at the 6. The 6 is in the hundreds place. So we're going to write it as 600. Looking at the 1, which is in the tens place, 110. And the 7, 7 ones. So we have 30,000 plus 4,000 plus 600 plus 10
Plus 7.
that's our number in expanded form.
So that's our lesson on place value. I need to know now if you are a 3, which means I understand place value to the billions. A 2, I'm starting to understand it a little bit, but I may need a little help. Or a 1, I'm really lost and I need some extra help. So go ahead and think about where you're at, jot it down on your piece of paper, come to class tomorrow, and be ready to discuss. Have a good night.